It's funny, when we sat down, we did the interview together. He finally copped to the fact that after we won championships, he was like, okay, I can just relax and coast over the summer because I know I got a teammate who's gonna be training 8-10 hours a day. I was like, see, that's the BS.
That would piss me off.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's the issue.
Shaq walking around the locker room naked is nothing. He walking real slow, tight. What the fuck he walking like that? And he pulls a mouthpiece out his ass and he puts it in the locker. He said, y'all better not say shit either. He takes Lou's toothbrush. He go take a shit and he stirs it in shit. The game happened. Lou Armisen checks in the game and he puts the mouthpiece on and everybody on the bench loses it. Everybody loses it, right? He comes to the locker room, he takes his mouthpiece off, and then somebody's like, hey Lou, don't use your mouthpiece. Shaq put your mouthpiece in his ass. He said, no he didn't, and put it back in his mouth and goes out there.
Shaquille O'Neal's thunderous dunks shattered backboards and silenced arenas, but behind the cheers lurked a man who thrived on chaos. His larger-than-life persona masked feuds that tore teams apart and pranks that crossed into cruelty. Whispers of scandals and unfiltered outbursts painted a portrait far removed from the generous giant fans adored. Shaquille O'Neal, known simply as Shaq, dominated the NBA like few others, standing at 7 feet 1 inch and weighing over 300 pounds, a force that bulldozed opponents and collected 4 championships. His career spanned the early 1990s with the Orlando Magic, stints with the Los Angeles Lakers, Miami Heat, and beyond, and ended in 2011 as one of the most unstoppable centers in basketball history. Off the court, he built an empire as a rapper, actor, businessman, and analyst, charming audiences with his humor and philanthropy. He donated millions to children's hospitals, funded scholarships, and starred in films like Kazam while dropping a platinum album. Yet beneath this polished image simmered a darker side, one riddled with controversies, vicious rivalries, and behaviors that often veered into the unacceptable. This isn't just about on-court trash talk. It's about the real-life drama that Shaq not only encountered, but sometimes instigated, leaving a trail of strained relationships and public backlash. Let's start with the most infamous chapter, Shaq's explosive feud with Kobe Bryant.
My teammates, they all thought I was absolutely crazy the day me and Shaq got in a fist fight.
This big dude, he would have hurt Kobe. He really would have. That's when he was wrong.
Oh, there's a swing by O'Neal.
Touch it, Brad Miller. Shaq gone berserk.
We were playing a pickup game. We was doing a lockout season. We're on opposite teams.
Laker personnel over in the corner. You know, we just playing.
And trash talking.
Yeah, take that little.
I'm looking around. Oh, me.
I'm thinking it's kind of like just joking around. Next thing I know, it's getting real serious.
The two joined forces on the Lakers in 1996, forming what seemed like an unbeatable duo. Shaq, fresh from rejecting a $54 million extension with the Magic and demanding $115 million, signed a $120 million deal with Los Angeles. Kobe, a 17-year-old high school phenom traded from the Hornets, complemented Shaq's brute strength with his own scoring prowess. Together, they delivered 3 consecutive championships from 2000 to 2002, including a dominant 2001 playoff run in which the Lakers lost just 1 game, finishing 15-1. Both earned All-NBA defensive honors, and their highlight reels became legendary. Shaq posterizing defenders, Kobe slicing through with acrobatic finishes, but the locker room told a different story. Tensions boiled over due to clashing personalities and work ethics. Kobe, known for his relentless drive, often hogged the ball, frustrating Shaq, who wanted more touches. In response, Shaq nicknamed him Showbo, implying Kobe prioritized flashy plays over teamwork. Kobe countered by highlighting Shaq's weaknesses, like his abysmal free throw shooting. Shaq missed 5,317 free throws in his career, second most in NBA history. Shaq's rationale? He didn't practice hard because opponents roughed him up, and he saw no need to grind like Kobe, who trained 10 hours a day. Shaq's natural size let him dominate without the same effort, but it backfired when injuries hit. In 2001, a sore foot sidelined Shaq for parts of the season and the All-Star game. Instead of rehabbing diligently, he vacationed during the offseason, returning overweight and out of shape. This exacerbated his foot issues, leading to surgery mid-season and missing 15 games. Shaq joked about it, saying he got hurt on company time, so recovery should be too, but Kobe seethed. Kobe had played through broken hands, torn shoulders, and more, calling Shaq's attitude lazy. In an explosive interview, Kobe labeled Shaq fat and lazy, comparing his pride to a 7-Eleven donut seller's. Shaq, furious, threatened to unalive Kobe, prompting metal detectors at practices, and Kobe challenging him to fight. The rift deepened during Kobe's 2003 legal troubles when a 19-year-old hotel employee accused him of assault. Charges were dropped when she declined to testify, and a civil suit settled privately. Shaq offered no support despite being called Kobe's big brother. Kobe noted calls from Michael Jordan, Tiger Woods, and others, but silence from Shaq. By 2004, after losing the finals to Detroit, Kobe demanded Shaq's trade, saying he wouldn't play with him anymore. Shaq went to Miami, winning a 4th ring in 2006 without Kobe, then mocked him in a freestyle rap at a nightclub. Kobe, how my ass tastes, you couldn't do without me. Kobe, fueled by the taunts, led the Lakers to back-to-back titles in 2009 and 2010, rubbing it in during a later interview. Just got one more than Shaq. They reconciled before Kobe's tragic 2020 death, but even after, Shaq subtly discredited him, saying he could have won 3 rings with Tracy McGrady instead. Journalist Jim Gray, who wrote about their dynamic, described it as tremendous highs with 3 championships, but really low lows marked by physical altercations in practice. Shaq's dominance extended to tormenting rookies and teammates with pranks that often crossed into gross territory. Known as a jokester, he once allegedly filled a bucket with waste over a week and dumped it on a rookie in the stall. Another story involved Devin George refusing an errand. Shaq reportedly defecated in his shoe, leading to George unknowingly stepping in it. George later denied it happened to him, but said it occurred in Orlando. Teammates recounted Shaq taking Luke Amundsen's mouthpiece and toothbrush, rubbing them on his body in unsanitary ways, then watching Amundsen use them unknowingly. Matt Barnes warned, anything in your locker has probably been in Shaq's ass. These weren't lighthearted gags. They humiliated and degraded, especially for newcomers trying to prove themselves. Post-retirement, Shaq's sharp tongue found a home on TNT's Inside the NBA, where he roasted players mercilessly. His segment Shaqtin' a Fool highlighted blunders, but it turned vicious with JaVale McGee. Shaq criticized centers harshly, claiming his aggressive style made him the greatest. McGee's early mistakes made him a frequent target, even after McGee improved with the Warriors, contributing to championships. Shaq mocked him relentlessly. Where the hell are you going? Or photoshopping McGee as a bum. McGee fired back on Twitter, telling Shaq to get my nuts out your mouth. Shaq threatened violence. I'll smack the shit out of you. McGee's mom called it cyberbullying, demanding suspension. Even Shaq's mother intervened. Kevin Durant defended McGee, saying Shaq's jabs went too far for entertainment. Shaq's disdain extended to coaches, with Miami's Stan Van Gundy. Initial success soured after a 2005 Eastern Conference Finals loss. Shaq blamed Van Gundy for not letting him dominate. Van Gundy resigned amid rumors Shaq pushed him out. Later, Van Gundy criticized Shaq for flopping. Shaq retorted it reminded him of Van Gundy's whole coaching career. In 2012, Van Gundy leaked private talks with Dwight Howard. Shaq called it a Bush League move, saying Van Gundy lost his team forever. Other players felt Shaq's wrath. Rudy Gobert cried after a 2019 All-Star snub. Shaq dismissed it. There's no crying in basketball. Man up. When Gobert signed a $205 million extension, Shaq said he didn't deserve it for not being physical enough. Dwight Howard's Superman dunk contest win irked Shaq, who claimed the title for his dominance. Their 20-year beef ended in a talk, but not before Howard trolled Shaq a little baby. In 2024, Shaq told Nikola Jokic he thought Shai Gilgeous-Alexander deserved MVP, prompting Shannon Sharpe to suggest envy over Shaq's legacy not matching his rings. Shaq clapped back, if you ain't top 10 in your profession, you can't speak on me. Shaq's off-court comments sometimes veered creepy. On Angel Reese's podcast, he suggested she dunk in revealing shirts for sales. Imagine you in that little shirt from Wild 'N Out dunking. Reese, seeing him as a father figure, cringed. Public outcry called it inappropriate. At 53, Shaq DJ'd for 21-year-old OnlyFans star Sophie Rain, posing in a photo looking baked, drawing criticism. Shaq's one of the horniest unks. Shaq admitted past promiscuity, flirting awkwardly with female interviewers. Once you go Shaq, you never go back. Legal troubles shadowed him too. In 2011, a producer sued, claiming Shaq ordered his kidnapping and hits, dismissed as fiction. In 2023, Shaq settled for $1.8 million in an FTX scandal. During UFC 303, streamer Adine Ross joked provocatively. Shaq threatened to sue, though it seemed staged. Shaq's generosity is real. He's helped countless fans and causes, but his dark side reveals a man who relished controversy, from feuds that fractured dynasties to pranks that humiliated. His unfiltered nature entertained millions but alienated many, proving even giants have shadows that loom large. At over 1,700 words, this exploration shows how Shaq's dominance came with a cost, one paid by those in his path.